Trek in the... Hey, welcome to another episode of Trek in the Valley. This is the non-encyclopedic Star Trek, the original series rewatch podcast, where myself, Adam Ordahl Cornell, and my co-host with the mo-host...
Oh, yeah, it's me, Al Hirt. What's going on here?
This is where we watch Star Trek, the original series, so you don't have to.
I was just zoning out at the shot of the Enterprise just flying over that planet. It was really nice.
Yeah, something we forgot to mention in the last episode is we're watching the HD remasters on Paramount Plus. That's the version that we're talking about, so we'll often reference juiced up special effects or particularly good sci-fi shots. Oh my god, last week with all the
star, or what is it? The Starbase K space station
K9
or K7 7.
K9 is dogs. Now,
Trouble with Tribbles.
Speaking of which, last week we discussed banger episode Trouble with Tribbles. You gave it 4 tribbles out of 5.
Yeah.
I gave it 4.5 tribbles out of 5 tribbles. The idea of a half tribble is kind of disgusting.
I didn't love the guest stars. I mean, I like some of them. The Koloff's great. The tribbles I like more, though.
Hey, you don't have to defend your... A 4 is still great.
I'm
like
defending it, though.
4 is a great score. Like, I just like... I
just needed it to be funnier.
Yeah, dude, they could have made Cyrano's beats
like,
funnier.
What was the other one that was great? They had to trick some guy or some robots, so they had to act like jackasses.
That was I Mud,
yeah. That
was
pretty
funnier.
good. Yeah,
that was
a little funnier.
I'll give you that. It was funnier. Yeah. Definitely.
But just those moments. I don't know. If you combine those parts with this tribble issue, then it would be like, out of the world.
There you go.
But like, come on.
That's a 5 out of 5. All right. So that last week we discussed Trouble with Tribbles.
Yes.
And this week, because that's what we do here, we discuss an episode of Star Trek, the original series. We do a recap. We say what we thought about it. And then we we recommend some kind of media, movies, TV shows, whatever we're playing, watching, listening to.
Going on.
Now, this week, last week, Trouble with Tribbles. This week, this is episode 16 of season 2, Star Trek, the original series. Yeah. It is the Gamesters of Triskelion. Epic.
It just sounds like a D&D run through.
The games. Yeah, this is the quest. We must face the Gamester of Triskelion. We must put our party together for the Gamester of Triskelion. We must venture to Triskelion. It definitely sounds... It goes hard, as the kids say, for sure.
Sounds like an album. That also sounds like an album. Trouble with Tribbles.
Trouble with Tribbles, the Gamesters of Triskelion.
The sequel, The Gamesters of Triskelion, of course.
It's making me... I've been playing more guitar, and like... I have a really hard time writing lyrics, thinking of subject matter for lyrics. I should just start writing them about Star Trek plots.
Yeah, there we go.
Just go for it. This aired for the first time on January 5th, 1968. This is We're now in 1968, whereas before... And this is an episode that you're hearing on Christmas Day. So
yes.
If you observe Christmas, Merry Christmas.
Yes,
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays
Hanukkah.
to everybody. Happy Hanukkah, happy holidays, happy whatever you celebrate.
Yes.
The big thing for me with the holidays is
stay warm.
I don't care what you celebrate as long as you don't try to not have to fucking work, dog. Just
don't work and get a bowl full of get a bunch of food. Eat as much food as you possibly can.
As much food as you can, and
we're done. We're almost done with 2023.
This dog shit year, and next year is going to be really bad. But But 2025, 2026, things might get better. Yeah, 2024 is dead in the water with the election, but we'll get through it. Now, the other thing that we always do before we talk about the episode is I give you the Paramount Plus synopsis. Right. I love these synopsises that they give on Paramount Plus.
What is the Paramount take?
It is 3 disembodied beings wager on fights staged by prisoners abducted from around the galaxy.
All right, I mean...
kind of spoilery.
Yeah.
But they aren't totally disembodied, so that is a bit of a... Because you hear their disembodied voices first. Yes. And so that's the setup for Gamesters of Triskelion.
Mysterious rulers.
So what's going on is the Enterprise is they're just checking in on a remote automated environmental station. Basically, it's like it's an automated science station that just takes readings from the area and sends it back to the Federation, right?
Okay.
And Kirk and Uhura and Chekhov are going to beam down to the little automated station to check on it. And when they beam down, bagoom, they are not on the station.
Nope.
They are not even on Gamma 2, the planet they were supposed to beam down to. The color of the sky is all wrong. There's 3 suns. It's a trinary sun. The landing pad they're on is crazy. It definitely looks like a fighting arena.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later. And now this is where the tension really kicks off, right? Because Scotty is telling Spock, look, first off, hilarious joke. I know I'm so bad at my notes, but I want to mention this. So Scotty fucking calls Spock, who's in charge on the bridge, and he says, Spock, they disappeared. And Spock is like, that's what the transporter does. It disappears. He says it differently. He says, I'm assuming you're saying that they disappeared in a way that is not expected in the function of the transporter. And Scotty's like, yeah, you fucking asshole. If they just beamed down, I wouldn't have called you. You think I'd have called you and say, they just beamed down, they disappeared. I'm dumb as hell. I'm so like Scotty. And Spock is like, well, redo the beam. And Scotty's like, I did all the shit, dude. They're fucking gone, dude.
Why am I calling you?
Why? I'm calling to tell you I did the shit and they disappeared. And he says they vanished.
Yeah, and Scotty, no flash of light.
That's the big thing. There's no flash of light. Well, goddamn. They disappeared and there was not even a flash of light.
Yeah. It was as if there was an editing sequence.
It's almost
and they just snipped out of there.
Yeah, they said there was going to be a flash of light, but they couldn't afford it. They were gone. And Scotty's saying there was no power surge. The dials are right. Everything was working perfectly. And so this sets up the dichotomy of not the dichotomy, but the split nature of the episode.
Yeah, the A and B, I guess.
Well, it's almost like the A and A minus.
Yes.
So because we've got who I'm going to call the away team, which is Uhura, Kirk, and Chekhov. And then you've got the bridge crew, which is Spock, Bones, and everybody that stayed. Also, Scotty. No Sulu the last few episodes. Have you noticed that? That's something I just realized. No Sulu.
Oh, true. Maybe he's off doing some other shit.
Maybe. And so Kirk can't reach the Enterprise on his transporter. They're basically on this weird looking landing pad, and then a huge. Who I can only describe as a walrus man. Like, look at this guy.
It's like a caveman.
So these 4 people approach them, and one is a giant caveman wearing a rug for a skirt. One is just a white guy in a Trapper John outfit, kind of. And then a lady with green hair who looks exactly like Lady Gaga. And then a lady who looks like she has jaundice.
Yeah. And with the weird wig.
And they just keep showing the guy with the walrus teeth, the caveman with the walrus teeth. They try and shoot, their phasers don't work, and then Kirk says hand to hand.
Ba, 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 ba. And so it's like Kirk all this action from the start.
What? Be careful. Kirk fights the white guy, and then Chekhov fights the giant caveman, which I think is a bit of a mismatch.
Yeah.
He immediately gets held captive, and then Uhura has to fight both the ladies who have these weapons we see a lot where it's like, my dad is a fisher person, and one of the things that he there's like a fish hook that's got like 3 hooks on it.
Oh yeah.
And that looks exactly like, I don't know what it's called, a tri hook. And he'll call me and tell me. And there's one end of these sticks that the ladies have has a 3-pronged hook on it, and the other end has like a scimitar blade.
Yeah, it kind of looks interesting, I guess. They swing it like a big, what is it?
From the very jump, kind of.
Yeah, but for the very jump, it seems like, it looks like American Gladiators to me. Like, from this whole thing.
Written by Margaret Arman, who I assume is a woman. And this is the Gamesters of Triskelion. Awesome title card with like a sun in the upper left-hand corner. And
they got 3.
There you go, the Trinary Sun. And it was directed by Gene Nelson.
Shout out to Gene Nelson and Margaret here.
And now this is where we find out a little bit more about what's going on with the away team. They're in this arena-like area being pushed around by these guest stars. And then out of nowhere appears Galt. And Galt is he's how would you describe that guy, Al?
I don't know. It's like you know the super mega boss in what is that called? The game, what is that? The Bruce Lee movie where he gets invited to the martial
Game
arts
of Death?
Game of Death. No, it was like not Game of Death.
You're talking to the wrong guy, man. I'm not.
Anyways,
I love
it's kind of
Bruce
like
Lee,
Mortal Kombat, but it's like, you know, he's like Shao Kahn. You know, he's like the main guy or like the main villain of the whole thing because he just has this big collar.
He does have,
and he looks like Dracula too.
Dracula, there you go.
That's what you're asking about.
This guy Galt has he's got a gray kind of hastily applied gray makeup.
Enter the Dragon. That's what it is.
There you go. Enter the Dragon. And he's got a big red collar and a cape, and on his chest he's got the design that's also the design behind them, and it's also the design that's on the floor of the arena. He is Galt, and he is the Master Thrall. Now,
Master Thrall.
We find out that the away team, they're going to be thralls now.
Yeah.
And so a thrall is obviously a slave. They're going to be trained to be thralls, and then we don't know what's going to happen next yet. They'll reveal that soon.
His collar is like really far back too. I realize the Master Thrall.
It's like a bowl.
It's like folded.
Weird.
Like
it looks like delicious. Maybe I'm just baked, but it looks like delicious fruit roll up. He's got like a
with the little sprinkles on it.
Do they do fruit roll up with sugar sprinkles?
I don't know. That's like something you see in the movie theater or something.
Or fruit roll ups with pop rocks in them. They should fucking do that shit.
Yeah. That
anyway,
does sound good.
So basically, he says, "Hey, you're going to be thralls now."
And then boom, they got the little collars here.
Now they're cuffed to the wall in the next shot.
Yep.
So. But they're only cuffed to the wall because they're going to put these collars on them. Because they take them down immediately after it. So they're putting these collars on them, and they say, you're going to be trained to be thralls, and you're going to fight, basically. And that's pretty much it. You're going to prepare for your training. And they don't tell him what's going on with the collars, but he says the providers are the people who provide everything for us. And they make this is for their entertainment,
and we do what they tell us.
We do what they tell us, and this guy's got really ashy face. Galt, yes. You are to be trained, of course. What other use is there for thralls?
Thralls,
and what they don't understand is like these people don't understand a greater.
Talk to him.
So that's something that I want to mention about the thralls before we get too far into it. They don't know anything except this planet. Like Shauna, the thrall that the Lady Gaga looking thrall that works with Kirk, like she looks up at the stars. She says later, but she's never thought They don't know anything other than being a thrall, most of them,
that's
right?
True.
But then they also catch thralls. They get thralls from other places, like with the Enterprise crew with a beam. We'll get into that beam. And they never really cover that beam. They should get that technology.
No, seriously. No trace of light.
So basically, he's saying they let him go. They're gonna put him in the training enclosure. He says, this place is the planet Triskelion. You are to be trained and spend the rest of your lives here. We know who you are. The providers gave us all your information. They gave us your Facebook and your Instagram. You're on Threads. We've watched you. We've watched your reels, motherfucker. The providers we'll get to them, but there's just another all-knowing being that just does everything.
Yeah, it seems like it.
And that's the other thing. Whenever you see them on the planet, like trying to get one over or escape, the providers see that. The providers see everything they do. Uh-huh. So it only seems to be a problem when it needs to be. Now, this is where we go back to the Enterprise, where the tension is high because They've scanned the planet. They've conducted 2 sweeps of the planet's surface. There's no sign of life. And then Bones is just like, what are we going to do? Bones is like, does that mean their atoms are just floating out there?
No,
and Spock says, even that would show up on our sensors.
Yeah.
And Scotty's like, where are they then? And Bones is, he says, the only things are negatives. It's not an ion storm. It's not a breakdown in your equipment. And it's funny because Bones says, a negative attitude isn't going to do us for us. And Spock should have been like, no, it's not my attitude. I'm saying their negative responses. Like, no, happened. Like, no. Like, negative in that.
Yeah.
I get it. And Bones is like, we can't just leave them out there and wherever they are. And now Spock says, we're going to continue our scans, and that's all we can do.
We can hope.
And
constant exposure does result in a certain degree of contamination.
Because like you said, Spock says all we can do is keep up our scans and hope for a logical answer.
Yeah.
And Bones says, I thought hope was a human emotion, and it's what you just said. There's a certain degree of contamination with saturation, and I love when Spock is like disgusted with a humanity that he's picked up along the way. And then we cut to they're gonna put
Kirk in his collar.
Kirk and Chekhov and Uhura are going to be put in their cells. Scotty makes a little motion with his hand, or Chekhov makes a little motion with his hand, like shit's gonna pop off. And they try to fight their way out, and then Galt's eyes get a blue twinkle. And they all get shocked. Their collars light up. Their collars have little like bars of soap on each part, like where their Frankenstein bolts would be, where their Frankenstein neck bolts would be.
And then they just do a bunch of editing here.
And they are shocked like a motherfucker. It's the punishment collar.
At least I was thinking they did the eyes this time because it's 1968. And it's not the first season when they had to put those fucking contacts on those poor guest stars to just show that they were going blind.
I feel like Galt was like, I'm not wearing those contacts, and you need my face, my weird ashy face.
I'm just gonna do one of these.
And they did a good job
in post.
And so now we find out that he controls the collars. They all go into their own cells. Galt leaves. And then it cuts back to Bones, and Bones is saying it's been an hour. Can people even live that long with their atoms being disassembled in a transporter beam? And Spock doesn't say no. He says there actually haven't been any studies like that, but it would be fascinating to do it. And Bones is like,
the first.
Bones is like, they're your friends, motherfucker. And he's like, I care. It would be a fascinating project. So Bones Bones is here. We don't get to the resolution for that yet. They haven't found the ion cloud. And then we cut back to the bridge or the away team in their cages. And content warning. Content warning for sexual assault. Somebody tries to sexually assault Uhura.
Yeah,
that's what happens.
Oh my god, is this gonna fucking happen right now?
So her drill thrall, which is terribly named. So the drill thrall shows up with with water, and he says, "There is little time. You were chosen for me." And she just starts screaming bloody murder.
Yeah,
it's intense as hell.
Are you okay?
Kirk is freaking out. Uhura, what's happening? She knocks the tray down. They fight off camera. Clearly, that's what's happening. Kirk reaches through the bars. Uhura! And then it cuts to commercial where Uhura has repelled this guy's advances, and he says, it's against the rules. What's he say? He says it's
against the ruls to
refuse a pairing. What does he say?
Yeah,
selection.
Like that.
It is not allowed to refuse selection.
Ugh.
Disgusting.
Thank God, though. I was like, whew.
And then it's the nourishment interval for Kirk. And
too dark for Saturday morning.
Exactly. And then Shauna brings Kirk his nourishment. And this is when we get a fucking break on the Enterprise. Yeah. Because somebody who's scanning finds an ion trail that's barely perceptible that goes many light years away. An ionization trail. And Spock is like, He asks the computer, what could cause this? Bones is like, what could cause this? The computer says, nothing. Nothing known to Starfleet.
Jeez.
So it is a total mystery. And Spock says, because this is a total mystery, it's the only thing...
We will be the first.
Well, he says it's the only thing we can't account for. He's like, I've scanned the surface 5 fucking times. He's not there. And this is a beam, an ionization trail going somewhere else. We're going to follow it. And Bones says, you're going to take us on a wild goose chase? And Spock says, I'm not chasing a wild waterfowl, jackass. I'm chasing the captain and Uhura and Chekhov, you motherfucker.
He's checking all the options off.
And so they...
Bones, why not check, right?
Bones and Scotty, because
they're on a starship.
Well, so
they can go pretty fast.
Here's the argument. They've already been gone for 2 hours. Wherever they are, they might only have a limited amount of time. True. Bones is worried that if they're lost somewhere on the planet or in the surrounding space, they need to be there to get them, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to go hours away to try and find them, and that's Bones and Scotty basically are on team stay at Gamma 2 and search, and Spock is like, no, we're following this fucking ion trail. And there's even a hilarious joke about mutiny later that we're going to cover.
Oh, yeah.
So Chekhov's drill thrall comes in, and he's like, have you been selected for me? And she's like, no, we're not going to fuck, don't worry.
Yeah.
But maybe we will someday.
Yeah, right.
She pronounces his name Chekhov. And she is like, Chamona.
No, Chekhov.
Chekhov, it's a very nice name. I am called Tamun. I don't know what this character's deal is. Usually Chekhov has a boner for whatever alien, so I don't like that he's like threatened by her. And she's basically saying, if I instruct you well, maybe my provider will buy you, and then we can be selected together. And then Kirk is like trying to get information out of Shauna.
Yeah,
his drill
ask
thrall.
More questions here and inquire her while they eat.
And this is where Kirk
he eats.
Kirk is saying, yours is red, your collar is red, my collar is white, and she says, your collars are white because you haven't been vended. And that vended, like they're
hell?
Sold, like they're in a vending machine.
Oh, geez.
Like they're in a capsule machine is how I think of it. And so she's like, when you get vended, then you'll have your color. And he's like, you mean sold? You mean bought and sold? We had a thing like that. It's called slavery, you dumbass. And she's got no fucking idea what's going on.
I guess.
And he's asking questions about who operates the collars. She's like, I'm your drill thrall. And he says, you could be so much more. You're a very beautiful woman. And she says, what is beautiful?
What is beautiful?
Hilarious gag.
That's ridiculous.
Then he holds up the silver serving tray and he's like, look at your reflection. This is beautiful. It
would have been great if there's just like a bunch of food on it, just like slopping down. He's like, this is beautiful.
And this is where he learns that she was born there, but the other drill thralls were like captured. And then there's a red alert, and it cuts to unrelated the fucking Enterprise.
Yep.
Where they've been traveling for a while now, and they still haven't found anything, and they're going to go somewhere that's 24 light years away. And Bones and Scotty are like, that is too far. Like, they couldn't be transported that far. Which is interesting to me because in the J.J. Abrams Star Treks, they perfect the long distance beam because Scotty travels and fucking creates the long distance beam. I love it. And then it cuts to them all training.
That's an alternate universe.
Well, exactly. So now, Bones and Scotty are against Spock, going even further away from Gamma 2 to follow this ionization trail. Across the galaxy. And then it cuts to the away team who are like training with their drill thralls. Their drill thralls are like walking them through training, and then they're going to punish this other guy. They're going to make him the practice target, which I don't understand because what's that? He says you're going to walk by him and hit him.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's not
it's
target
just weird.
practice.
Yeah.
And
it sounds like a wrap up, a cool down. You just run by him and swipe him. Like it was so random of him to say that.
And Kirk is like, it's bullshit that you would do this. He didn't do anything wrong.
And Uhura's like, I'm not gonna do it. And he's like, none of us are gonna do it. We're gonna not stab this guy. And we're willing to train with you, but
so but Chekhov calls these people Cossacks. Cossacks are a predominantly East Slavic, from Wikipedia, East Slavic Orthodox Christian people originating in Pontic Caspian steppe of eastern Ukraine and southern Russia. I don't know why he doesn't like them, and I'm not going to get into it, but clearly he's racist against Cossacks. And then they get punished for saying they're not going to do the target practice on this guy, who happens to be black. I don't like that he's like a thrall that is black, and it's kind of a bad look. And same thing with Uhura. So now they're going to use Uhura for target practice, but Kirk says, I'm the captain, I'm responsible. So now they're going to make him target practice, but this is what target practice means. It means you fight the giant guy who's got a whip and your hands are tied.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's it.
I don't know. I guess
that's not target practice.
No, it was extremely loosely based.
Yeah, and so then it cuts to commercial, and then it comes back, and Kirk's back is whipped open already. This guy's just walking around with a net and a whip, whipping him.
And they're just trying to figure out where the hell they are, what they're going to do to get out.
Well, they're not even. Kirk is just fighting at this point.
Oh, for sure.
But what the hell?
He's still he's thinking to himself, "What the fuck is this?"
And then the bell rings and they get a 15 Glorcon fucking rest interval, right?
Exactly. This is just getting weird.
How is this target practice? It's just a fight. 15 trisecs is the rest interval. So
the guy name is Klug, I guess.
Klug is the caveman with the rug. And this is where Shauna gives
a chick,
Shauna gives Kirk a potion in a huge Coke bottle, grape juice in a huge Coke bottle that's going to give him strength. And then she says, Klug is weak on his left side. You should approach him from the left side. He can't see out of his left eye. And Kirk doesn't do any of that. That's just because they didn't produce that sequence very well. But Kirk doesn't really attack him from his left side like he's supposed to. But Kirk does get his hands free, and then he chokes the guy out, and he wins. And then these voices appear.
Yeah, you start hearing...
The providers start betting Quatloos. They're saying, I bet this many Quatloos on the newcomers. That one of the voices is really good. Provider 3, they're betting 1,000 Quatloos. And then
you just hears people gambling, and it's really dark.
And then the newcomers have been vended to Provider 1. And Kirk is like, we're free people, we belong to no one. And Provider 2 says, such spirit, I wager 15 Quatloos that he is untrainable. And then another one says 20 Quatloos that all three are untrainable and will need to be destroyed. 5,000 Quatloos that the newcomers will need to be destroyed. And they talk about destroying them a lot, but now they have red. They're red coded now because that's their Provider 1. And then there's cut to Spock on the bridge. Scotty is still saying, look, we have to continue the search in the area where they're lost. It's always possible to miss something. And Spock is like, oh, miss something? Like a malfunction in the fucking engineering stuff? And Scotty's like, that's...
Too much scotch here, Scotty.
Then it cuts to a very important scene. Where it is Shauna and Kirk on their own
and
training.
Kirk's like, my shirt's all ripped up, obviously,
Kirk's
from the
shirtless,
whipping. So
he's shirtless and he's got scars on. He's got a training harness on and scarry chest. And he's asking her questions about the providers. What do they look like? Their voices sound mechanical. Are they computers? Do they have bodies? Crazy?
There's soccer players that wear those harnesses that look like that. And it keeps track of like their heart rate and like how fast they run and where they go. They wear it under their jerseys.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, Star Trek nailed it.
There's also back braces that look like that keep your posture straight or whatever.
But those go through your waist.
So Kirk is asking her all these questions like, what is this place? There's these ruins. Is this the provider's old is this their old city? And she's like, I don't know anything that you're talking about. I was born to do this. And
he's like, what are you talking about? You were obviously here, like, for some reason, something else. And she's like, I don't know.
Where do you think everybody else comes from? And he says, well, look at those stars. There are planets around them. And she says, how can you live on a twinkle in the sky?
Cringy, dude.
How can you live on a twinkle in the sky? And God, she's beautiful, dude. She's like, it's like so pretty. Classic 60s actress. Like I said, she looks just like Lady Gaga in a period piece. And Kirk is trying to tell her, hey, from there, Triskelion is just a flicker of light. And Kirk says, this is the darkest planet I've ever seen, and he doesn't mean light. She says, but everything's well lit. And he says, no, it's dark because you're all fucking slaves and thralls. Thralls have no freedom, Shayna. He basically says, love is the most important thing on earth. We select our own mate. And then he's got to tell her what love is. He says, we live together, we help each other. And then eventually she gets shocked because he's asking about the providers.
Oh, no. It's because the providers are looking, and he's, oh, gosh. Kirk really hams it up, though, with his, you're killing her.
I just paused it on a very great shot of Shatner.
29 minutes and 56 seconds.
Oh, my God. He's got some chompers on him, I'll tell you that much. So this is how they're going to get him. They're shocking her instead of him. And he's really mad about it.
Yeah, he's panicking. You know, he's seeing her in pain, and he's pleading here.
If you're going to punish anyone, punish me.
It was my fault. I got those ideas in her head.
And they say, you must learn obedience, then you will be an excellent thrall. And and then basically Galt shows up and says, hey, because you've entertained the providers with...
They made out.
And
he was like, hey, the provider's like that.
He sacrificed himself for her.
True.
And that doesn't make any sense to the providers.
They're like, that's entertaining.
They're not gonna punish anybody anymore because he entertained them. And this is where we get to the real shit on the bridge. Now,
it's different, Adam. That's why the providers kept him alive.
Yeah, it's just different. It's all. It's just different society.
They needed.
Now, this is a hilarious scene on the bridge.
Yeah,
Scotty and Bones they're saying, look, we think that we got to go back to Gamma 2. We got to stop this wild goose chase of this ion trail, right?
Yeah.
And they're agreeing with each other. And Spock just says, look, I'm in command. So we're going to do what we're going to do. We're going to do what I just said. We're going to follow this ionization trail. And then Spock gets in close and goes, unless y'all are going to call a mutiny. And Scotty's like, oh, hey. Him and Bones are both like, no, we never said nothing about a mutiny. And then Spock does say they're approaching a trinary star system. So the dramatic irony... I never get to put on my screenwriter hat. But so dramatic irony is when the audience knows something the characters don't know, right? So we know that Kirk is at a system with a trinary star system. And he says, we're on our way to a trinary star system.
And Chekhov and Spock make a point of it.
Scotty and Bones are like, look, you're playing a hunch. And he goes, I don't play a hunch. We're following the ion trail.
Yeah, and that's what's weird.
And this is when he says, unless it is your intention to declare a mutiny. And they both just, Mr. Spock, we'll never know. We're not talking about that. So what they come to is Spock says, look, we're going to go check out this trinary star system. And if he's not there,
we're going to go back.
We're going to go back and search again. And they're all happy about it. They're all so happy about it, and Scotty's going to get him even
10 over there.
Yeah, Scotty's going to get him more than warp 7 even to get him there and find out what's going on.
Seriously.
Now Kirk is
back to the what is this planet?
This is Triskelion.
Triskelion, yes.
And Kirk is making out with Shayna again. And then he kisses her.
He's like, I'm sorry. Boom.
He kisses her and then he just fucking cold cocks her, dude.
Yeah, it was fucked up.
It's almost. I'm almost bummed. I'm almost bummed that he knocks her out so easily because she's a drill thrall.
Well,
she should be tough.
Too. And dude, 2 seasons of fucking hanging out with Spock, no Vulcan neck pinch. You never learned that.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
That would be a standard in the Federation.
And This reminds me of in the Wheel of Time series, they have slaves that do the magic for them, and it's just like this. They have a drill thrall basically that trains them and is connected to them and all that shit. But yeah, this is just hilarious and brutal. Kirk kisses her and then just clocks her, knocks her out, like, takes her key. Bah.
My bad.
He goes and frees everybody else, and they've already.
Is this a shitty idea?
It's Chekhov, and Chekhov has already got his drill thrall tied up, and Uhura says Lars is off reporting her, and they're basically trying to find a way to get out of the collars.
And maybe they get short circuited or something, you know.
But they get to the arena, and boom, there's Galt, and he shocks them. Now.
Yeah, and the Master Thrall, though, I just realized, obviously, his collar's like decked out with like 3 different colors or whatever.
Yeah, because he controls all the herds.
Right.
So the yellow, because there's 3 providers and they're different colors.
That's
red,
right.
blue, and
red,
yellow.
Blue, and yellow.
So all the thralls have different. They're all in red.
Bought.
Yeah. By provider 1 is red.
Exactly, because they got vended.
Vendered.
They got vendered. Vended.
So this is where worlds collide, because beautiful shot of the Enterprise at 36 minutes and 40 seconds. And we see bridge crew we've never seen before, except for earlier in this episode. No Sulu. Chekhov's on the planet. Yep. There's great view screen shit. And now what's going to happen is, well, first off, they make a Bible joke where Bones is like, Spock, you're going down there. You need some help. And Spock is like, David only had his faith, but I'll take the company. And so, as I recall, Daniel, as I recall, had only his faith, Doctor, but I welcome your company. And so they're going to beam down and check on this. So they found a little settlement of humans. Mm-hmm. So they found some humans, right? Now, the thing about it is, the Bones is like, well, let's send down a force and kick some ass and find the captain. And Spock is like, no, we got to take it slow. We're just going to send a couple people down, figure out what's going on so we don't get them killed. Who knows what's going on?
Yep.
First off, if I was Spock, I would be, I told you soing the fuck out of these guys. I told you so, motherfucker. Told you so, told you so.
He knows what's up.
Told you so, told you so.
Just got to get the objective done here.
So they're about to get on the turbo lift to go to the transporter room, and the turbo lift closes. All the lights on the bridge start blinking, and Provider 1 says, "No, Mr. Spock, you will not leave the ship. None of your control systems will operate."
So it's like an avatar being controlling the ship once again.
And Kirk can hear what's happening on the Enterprise, and the Enterprise can hear what's happening with Kirk. And the providers are like, your ingenuity of discovering us is noteworthy. And so basically Kirk says, God damn it, just show me yourselves. And they say, we find no objection. And then Kirk teleports, really, not even transports. Yeah. Instantly teleports into, and we finally see the providers.
There's no light, no beam of energy.
The providers, no beam of energy, no trace,
and it just looks like what is it called? Looks like those little hungry hippos.
So it is wild.
Those arcade things you see at arcades.
Yes. So what they find for the providers are 3 masses of flesh that look kind of like different colored brains.
Like brains, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they look like brains, and they blink when they talk, and they're under a big glass dome. And this is an often referenced sci-fi thing. Like I said, it was on C-Lab 2021. They did a reference to these brains.
Metroid does that too, though, right? Like
I wonder, yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. Yep, it's a sci-fi trope for sure. They didn't start it, but this is iconic. Yeah, so these 3 brains, it turns out that the Triskelionites, the Gamesters of Triskelion,
yes,
their people had evolved from humanoid beings into these consciousnesses, and they bet Quatloos, and they never say what Quatloos are.
No,
but like. So,
or what they spend Quatloos on.
So how do they? So they have all this power. They can just take over a ship. They can beam people across the fucking galaxy. So the Quatloos are just like something they exchange between themselves for like financial dominance. It doesn't make any fucking sense. They're 3 brains in an upside down punch bowl. So
they could be doing crazier shit right now.
So Kirk challenges them basically. He says, like, if you're so fucking involved,
you're gamblers.
If you're so evolved, we've evolved beyond slavery. And they're like, here's why they do the games.
Like, why? What's your point?
Here's why they do the games. The brains say the reason we do the games is because since we're just brains, only physical athletic competition can hold our attention. And so Kirk says, I'll put any of my people against any of your people.
He goes, well, humans are just as ingenious and we've like evolved past slavery and like have been better people. And the brains are like, how? And he goes, well, we're out in space. We found you guys. We have a federation. I am a captain. Like, you're gamblers. The human race has always gambled on itself. So let's make a wager. And what was that wager? How did it go?
One thing that I want to mention before all of this, because you called him captain. At one point, Galt says, when they first get there, Galt says, your previous titles mean nothing, captain. It's like, if they mean nothing, why are you calling him captain? So here's the wager that Kirk puts together. He says, look, I'm going to put any of my number of my men against any of your thralls, and if we win, you're going to release the Enterprise crew, you're going to release all the thralls, and you're going to teach them to be a society. And they're like, teach the thralls to be a society? It's unheard of.
What does that mean?
They're stupid cave people. And Kirk's like, no, you will. And he's like, well, what if you lose, Kirk? And he goes, then we will just be your thralls and we won't complain and you'll have generations. You'll have generations of entertaining thralls.
Wow. Thrall action here.
Wild that's what he would throw down as
dude, that's crazy. He's like, yeah, I'll give you everyone, just the whole spaceship. Don't worry about it.
And then we're gonna be you're gonna use your selection process, and everybody's gonna get filled with babies in a horrible way.
Ugh,
and
it's like gross tribbles.
Just crazy. Now, so that's the wager. And this is one thing I think is fucked up because he says, I'll put any 5 of my people against 5 of your people. And then they go, but Kirk, we thought you're too ingenuitive. So instead it's going to be 3 of our people against just you. And it's like, well, that's
okay.
That's a different that's a different thing.
And he's like, hey, how about that? We'll just double down and call out your bet.
And that's
suck it.
And so he says, fine,
okay.
Fucking fine.
Great.
So now he is going to go to, we got to fast forward through all there. I love the effects of the glowing brains. They say, he says, you'll have the thralls be people, and they say, anarchy. You'll give them thralls govern themselves? Anarchy, ridiculous. And so basically that's where they make the bargain. And then we get to, now this is something I want to talk about.
Yeah.
The providers say, since the captain has bet your ship's crew's life, we're going to let them watch you on the view screens. They're always watching the captain fight people. Like they did it with Arena.
Exactly.
It's so funny. It's exactly like the fucking judges or whatever. It's
not even for the captain's sake. It's for the entire ship's sake. So imagine if you were like in, what is it? I mean, I know that
you're watching your boss,
but you're in 10 forward, the bar, right? Imagine you're next gen 10 forward. You're just having drinks
just
and
watching.
You're like, oh, whoa! What's
our
on
boss
the view
is fighting
screen?
for our fate as thralls.
Oh shit! I don't even know what thralls are.
So they give a bunch of fucking rules So the rules are like,
oh, they're so bizarre. They're just like made them up as they went. I felt like
he says the colors are different for different players. And you have to stay inside the colors, which they never really reference. The one big rule that I got...
He's throwing flags here.
The one big rule that I got is Kirk's got to kill the people, and that's the only way to eliminate them. If he only injures them, they get replaced with a fresh thrall.
Yeah.
So he's got to fight until he's killed the three thralls. And he does it. It's a great fight. It's a lot of him like...
jumping and skipping around here.
He's fighting the caveman guy with the big rug. He's fighting the white guy, Lars, that was Uhura's drill thrall. And now we see an Andorian for the first time.
Yeah.
And then he's fighting an Andorian. And he throws a spear through the cave guy, so he's eliminated. Yeah. And this is where he tricks the Andorian into throwing his spear through Lars, and then he's dead. So it's just Kirk and the Andorian.
Yep, that was pretty quick though.
They show the nets a lot, but nobody ever gets hit by the net.
I don't know what the net's for. Like maybe you cut them down and you catch them.
No, you throw it at them, and then there's like a net on them.
Oh yeah, but they never do it.
It's dumb.
It's not useful.
It's not like you don't have a net gun. You need a gun.
Yeah, I would like maybe cut the ankle and then cover with the net and then do the little 1-2, or maybe wrap around one of the ankles, do like an Indiana style.
It should be like Jones just a bolo. That makes more sense. A bolo. That's the two balls with a cord. Also a Morning Star. That would be cool. But now Kirk only injures the Andorian.
Klingon blades or whatever those are.
The Batleth.
That'd be cool.
So Kirk only injures the Andorian. Mm-hmm. So then Galt replaces the Andorian with Shayna. And Lady Gaga with the green hair and the silver boobs.
She looks like what is that called? She's a character in like Street Fighter, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't think of her, but yes. Right now. So anyway, Kirk's got to fight her, and this is what I don't get. She says everything you told me was a lie, and it's like, no, it wasn't. I'm fighting right now for your freedom. And so they fight, and she gets the upper hand, and she hesitates. So she gets the upper hand, she hesitates, he stops himself, and he's about to kill her, and then this is what's fucked up, Al.
Yeah.
He's about to kill her, and she says the thralls submit. The thralls give up. Mm-hmm. And now, so here's the thing, dude. Like, because she gave up, all the thralls are set free, and now they're going to be taken care of in a society. And she could have given up the whole time and just freed everybody. That's how fucked up their society was. They were born into thrall servitude. They couldn't even think of a world where they would not be thralls. And so,
of course, they have no, like, what is it? They have no knowledge of that,
exactly.
Right?
And then the providers set them free, like they said, we have said it. We will train them. And he says, you'll find it to be a much more exciting game than the one you've been playing. And she says, you're going to leave us now? And she says, I would like to go to those lights in the sky. Take me with you. And he goes, you can't. And he says, teach me and I'll follow you. And he goes, there's so much more you must learn here first.
You got to look at the stars.
They kiss again.
Yeah, geez.
And then the bridge crew beams up. And this is one of the rare endings where it doesn't end on the bridge or with Kirk or whatever. It's just Shayna, and she says got this epic ending line. And also, I wanted to mention
that's what she's
Felicia.
Yes. Felicia, but she has great. She has blue hair. Felicia.
Also, they show her butt in the foreground a lot. There's lots of shots of her tinfoil butt, and she says, "I will."
Crying,
she's crying. She says, "I will learn and watch the lights in the sky."
Some dude kissed me and went into space.
And
she's like, "Can you take me?" And he's like, "Yeah, we're going. Bye."
I will watch the lights in the sky and remember. Cut to the Enterprise.
Yeah.
That's it.
They're not laughing on the bridge or anything. They're like, fuck that shit. That shit was
much
crazy.
More serious episode.
Than Tribbles. It was a definite shift in tone.
Than Trouble with Tribbles, yes.
I think.
So what did you think? Lay it on me, Al.
It felt like, what is it called? The coolest part was the brains and stuff and him talking to the brains. That was really cool. The action was nice, too. I like the big guy, the Klug. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, dude. I love the good Klug.
I think it was just I don't know. I guess it's like a reiterance of like, why do you listen to these people? It's like a slavery thing where what's it called? It's a little more extreme in this episode, especially with like the sexual assault at the beginning, which was fucking crazy.
Yes.
But what was I gonna say? It feels like they've already done this a lot before.
It's like, it's what they would say in an episode of Rick and Morty when they're being meta and criticizing. They say it bumps. It really bumps with Arena and the fighting the Gorn. The fate of the ship is in the balance, and they have to watch the captain fight.
That too.
So but
it's also like, sorry, go ahead.
No, lay it on me. Continue.
Oh, no, I was thinking like it's also like them coming across a race of people like who worship X thing, and then they're like, "What, you do this? What a crazy thing for you to do!" And then it's like he blows their mind, and then he trains them as a society, or the Federation does. That's like the episode with the kids, right?
Yes.
And then there's the episode with the Purge.
Yes.
And then there's the episode with the people who listen to the computer.
So,
and he breaks the computer and he's like, all right, peace.
I hear you and I agree. Landru.
Right.
I hear
Landru,
you.
yeah.
I hear you and I agree with you, but also that's kind of the mission of the Enterprise is to find these societies and shit. But yes, it bumps.
But I think it's
definitely a triple beat. They've gone back to the well a lot of but one thing that's different about this society,
the costumes are cool.
Exactly. Yes, good. Very diverse costumes, lots of different looks.
Yeah.
One thing about this society that's different from those other ones that you mentioned is those other ones did have like gods or something that they worshipped. These people are literally just thralls.
Yeah.
They don't worship the providers. They just fight, and that's it. And then it's fucked up because you find out that it's just 3 providers that are under a dome, basically just exchanging imaginary money, and that's what all these people's lives are for.
Yeah.
A lot of them are born there, and others are kidnapped and then brainwashed to be thralls.
What was that other episode?
Bananas.
It's like what is it called? The battleship episode that we called, where it was like, oh, if this society dropped this bomb here, X amount of people would die. So, they got to go in the incinerator.
I can't remember, but the
you're
incinerator.
Right. Like, it's not like gods, right? It's just like people being ridiculous or space alien races being ridiculous.
But this, and that's why I think this is a little bit different.
You're right, though. I did name off a lot of like examples, but like those were all entertaining, and this was just quite as entertaining too. I think it was nice that they threw a lot more action in here. And just to see them thrall around,
there's
was
a lot
more
of
fun.
good, a lot of good fights,
and then the whole Spock being captain is great too.
And the tension between Spock and Scotty, and they don't even really cover how because we don't get like there's a different there's a different ending for this episode where it cuts to the bridge. And Scotty and Spock and Bones like make some joke about how like Scotty and Bones would be like, "Hey Kirk, we wanted to follow this ion trail. We really had to convince Spock to. Spock wanted to search Gamma too.
What an idiot!
Like we almost had to mutiny to get him to come find. Like that would be a funny button ending. But Kirk freeing an entire race of thralls." And the other funny thing about this...
savior energy.
Exactly. Yes. And the other fucked up thing about these thralls, right, is they mention herds and how each provider of the 3 brains has a herd.
Yeah.
But we really only see 4 thralls, or 5 thralls, including the Andorian.
What happened to the master thrall? Was he just like...
No, that's Galt. He got freed too.
Galt?
Yeah,
Galt is... Well, I mean, I guess...
I'm so glad you said that because I think it's funny that so they're gonna beam away, right? And everybody's just gonna like immediately kill Galt. He was the slave master. They're like, okay, bye, Enterprise people, and Galt's like, well, I was just doing the bidding of the providers. They kind of made me. I don't know. I was a thrall just like you guys, right?
My collar's on the floor too.
Yes, right. Right. Look, yeah, hilarious.
I would think so.
So, how many glowing brain gamesters would you give this on a scale of 1 to 4 glowing brains?
Oh, 1 to 4.
1 to 5. 1 to 5 glowing brains.
I think there was no good guest stars, but there's a lot of action. A lot of cheesy lines.
Guest stars. Oh, Shana.
Shana, that's true. Shana did kill it.
Lady Gaga is heartbroken.
And then what else though? I think it was about like a 3.5 brains.
3.5 brains.
Maybe itching more to 4, but
we're a half off.
I'm trying not to
don't
be
change
as
it. Nail it
every episode.
Nail it down.
I really want to be picky here.
I had 4 brains.
Watch a lot of them.
I had 4 brains.
Okay.
Because of the dynamic between Spock and Bones and Scotty. And,
that's true. That was pretty funny.
And I thought that the guy who played Galt did a great job. And I thought that all the Kirk and Shana making out stuff, it's like
that was so ridiculous.
It's like quintessential Lothario Kirk, which is I think because like that's how like when people are talking about Kirk or they're joking about him or like the J.J. Abrams Kirk has like 2 girls in bed with him or whatever.
That's a whole.
But he wasn't as much of a Lothario as the characterizations of him made him out to be. So I like when we get that time and he's doing that.
See it, yeah.
And he's also like kind of And the combat is neat, and just how Uhura's got to fight those two ladies, and Chekhov just gets his ass kicked by the giant immediately.
Well, it's like these are the two fucking Enterprise members that you wouldn't want to see in a fight.
And Uhura's great though. She does a great job. Holds
her own, actually.
Chekhov is kind of a wank. Yeah, but Uhura's great.
Fuck.
So
that's true. Uhura kicked some girl's ass in the transporter room.
She's also kicked dudes' asses many times at this point. So one thing that I wanted to mention that also I think justifies my 4 in terms of as somebody who watches shit and writes shit, I really like well-motivated character shit, right? And so Kirk, they've supposedly fucking evolved way beyond humanoid whatever, right?
Yeah.
But Kirk plays on a very human emotion of pride to get them to make the bet, right?
Exactly.
The providers. Mm-hmm. So I think it's just so interesting that even though they've come so far and evolved, quote unquote, evolved so much, he plays on a very basic human pride. I love it.
Yeah, it's cool too.
Where four is blowing brains from Adam Ordal Quinnell.
It's what is it? It's cool that you brought that up too, because I was exactly thinking of some Corbomite maneuver stuff. You know, like where he uses human wit to like pressure another completely, super alien race being to be like, whoa, what? Yes. Be like, hey, you're gamblers. I gamble too. Why don't I take you up on this?
Humans gamble all the time.
What are you? What are you, big jerk? Like a big dingus? A big wuss?
Right.
A chicken?
Bakak.
Anyways.
But so that's it. So you give it a 3.5.
Yeah,
I give it a 4. 3.5. That's the Gamesters of Triskelion.
Yes,
now,
Triskelion.
While I pull up what episode we're doing next week, do you have anything else to recommend? We record these episodes back to back.
So we sometimes Zero's still good though.
We sometimes burn our
There's a dubstep artist, Space Laces. I think you'd like him too, but his covers are pretty cool. He has a new single called "In the Place." Mm-hmm. He was playing it since like beginning of 2022, so it's a pretty long-awaited release. But he's the master once again.
Space Lace.
Space Laces.
Space Laces.
Like shoelaces, but space.
Dubstep.
Yep.
Space Laces.
And then another guy named Cesco, Cesco, but that's more like, I guess, laid back dubstep. It's interesting now that, like, before 2008 and the whole Skrillex bro step thing happened, and how dubstep before was like, I don't know, a little UK-ish or two-stepping, a little more laid back.
Sure.
It's gone full circle to the point where, like, Skrillex is now making that kind of music, and the newcomers are kind of making that music now, and it's come back. Oh. And, like, Americans are now into drum and bass, and they're more into, like, house and tech, and it's like, we just caught up to like what Europe has passed,
Dude, it's always
so weird.
It's always cyclical,
it's like a
weird,
reflection.
It's a snake feeding. It's a snake eating its own tail.
Yeah, exactly.
But
we'll see. We'll see.
Well,
cool dubstep stuff.
For me, I'm still playing Mario. I'm very slowly playing Mario Wonder.
How is that?
It's good. I got it when it came out, but I kind of set it down, and then my wife has been getting caught up on some Netflix stuff because our Netflix is gonna cancel for a little while. So I've been playing the Switch in the studio here, and I was playing Mario Wonder, which is still great. Good, it's a very good, solid side-scrolling Mario. But the thing I'm excited about after I get through getting everybody's Christmas presents and shit, when I can grab another game, I'm gonna play the Mario RPG. That's the redo that looks fucking awesome.
What, is it out?
It's out. I just don't have time to play it yet, really.
I remember when I sent you that trailer.
Dude,
that was crazy.
It's going to be so good. And I only played half of, and I think maybe we've even talked about this on the pod. I've only played half of Super Mario RPG on the Virtual Console, and I'm glad I stopped playing it.
So you'll finish it on the remaster.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that'll be sick.
Yeah, it's going to be great. But so that's what I'm interested in. Play Mario.
Listen to dubstep.
Play Mario. Next week, we're talking about a piece of the action.
Dude, and this thumbnail just cracked me up.
Dude, it's fucking hilarious. This is one of those classic episodes. We get a lot of episodes that are kind of like this in Next Generation.
Back to back, dude.
Yeah, Next Generation,
triples, like Gladiators.
We get a lot of Picard in the 20s in Next Generation too.
Yeah.
Yep.
What else did they do the 20s thing? They did the depression thing, right? With the chick that got hit by the car.
Yes.
They're like, oh, wait, no.
Yep. Depression era politics. I can't remember off the top of my head, but
they went to the air base.
Yes,
that's right.
Yes, with the guy
aliens.
when they accidentally destroyed that jet
and they traumatized the other army soldier.
Oh, that guy! I love when they go back in time. It's so aped on like so many other like Futurama does that shit all the time. I love it.
That was because they crushed the fighter pilot.
Yeah.
Shit.
And then they had to go back and drop them. They went around the sun and they had to drop them at the exact times. That's bananas. Right. Loved it.
Anyways,
but so next week,
piece of the action.
A piece of the action. Listen to the bumper, like, rate, review, subscribe, do all the stuff it says.
Thank you so much for listening, guys.
Thanks for supporting the pod. And this is the Christmas episode. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. Bye. Trek in the Valley is executive produced by Adam Ordall-Quinnell and Al Hirt. Theme song by Al Hirt. Recorded by Adam. Mixed and edited by Al. Check the show notes for our socials. And you can email the pod at trekinthevalley, all one word, @gmail.com. Like, subscribe, review, and always explore strange new fucking worlds.